Hey, what's up guys? Eddie and Jamal here again with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, and today we're going to talk about 6 reasons why this is not a housing crisis. And I'll let Jamal start with reason number 1.
All right, so the number one reason that this is not a housing crisis is by looking at appreciation. If you look at the last 6 years leading up to the last housing crisis, the average appreciation was 6.5% to 12.5%. When you look at the last 6 years leading up to now, we actually haven't had 1 year that's broken that 6.5%, which was the lowest level during the housing crisis. If you look at the graph, it shows the highest year, which was in 2017, which was 6.4%. So basically the biggest reason the appreciation is a factor is that when it grows like that, it gets to a point where homes become unaffordable.
Okay. And the second reason why this is not a housing crisis is that our level of difficulty to secure a loan has gone way up. And believe it or not, that's a very good thing. During this time right now, it's 6 times more difficult to get a loan than it was back in 2007, 2008, leading up to the crisis. And that's because they were giving them out to anybody. And that's not a good thing, because if you're just giving loans out to everybody, there's a higher chance that they're going to default. They were doing no doc loans. They were giving out interest-only loans. And now they've signed up their criteria. The Mortgage Credit Availability Index is a monthly measure that gauges the level of difficulty to secure a loan. The higher the index, the easier it is to get a loan. The lower the index, the harder. Today, we're nowhere near the levels seen before the housing crash, when it was very easy to get approved for a mortgage. After the crash, however, lending standards tightened and have remained that way leading up to today.
The third reason has to do with the number of homes for sale. So during the housing crisis, we had an oversupply of homes, and currently we have an undersupply of homes. So this goes back to the age-old term of buyer's market versus seller's market. A seller's market means that there's 6 months of inventory. So an example, if your market on average sells 20 homes a month, times that by 6 months, you have 120 homes available on the market. A buyer's market is when you have 7 months or more inventory. So during the housing crisis, we were in a buyer's market with an oversupply of homes available. And currently we are in a seller's market where buyers are competing for homes because there is not enough inventory.
Okay. And the fourth reason we are not in a housing crisis is because of the total amount of home equity that is used. This is very important. In 2005 to 2007, which led to the last housing crisis, there was $824 billion used for home equity, meaning pulling equity out of a home, over leveraging them, right? When you look between 2017, 2019 to now, $232 billion of home equity was used, which is almost a quarter of what was used back before the last housing crisis, and that's a good thing.
And the fifth reason is home equity overall. So during the housing crisis, people were over leveraged. People were getting loans left and right and had no equity in the home, which puts them in a position to kind of give up and turn their keys in. When you look at the situation today, over half the homes in America have over 50% of equity, which means people aren't going to just give up and walk away. Americans are in a much better financial position at this point. So if you check this out, 37% of homes in America are owned free and clear. That is just not something people are going to get up and walk away from.
Okay. And finally, number 6, the 6th reason this is not a housing crisis. We did this intentionally, okay? What does that mean? It means that when you look at the economy right now, when you look at what's going on, when you look at the situation where everybody's at home, people are freaking out, businesses are affected, we manually hit the pause button, meaning the government came in and said pause. And just like that happened, they're going to manually press play, okay? This wasn't something that came from the outside where it's unavoidable. It wasn't over-leveraged homes. It wasn't easy to get mortgages. It wasn't anything like that. It is very simply the idea that we hit pause. Also, very important to understand is that the housing market did not lead us into this. Usually, housing is a leading indicator. The housing market did not lead us into this, but it's probably going to be the reason that leads us out of this. So it's important to understand and be loaded with the facts. In the end, there are a lot of differences between what's going on now and what was going on back in 2007, 2008, 2009. All the indicators were there. This, before we manually hit pause on the marketplace, manually hit pause on the economy, we had record springs going. We still have record low interest rates. When they hit play, there's going to be a surge coming, and we have to be ready for it. But understand, this is not a housing crisis.
All right, you guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. Please do us a favor, hit like, leave a comment, and share this with someone who you think it'd be beneficial for. And feel free to contact us if you have any questions. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope to talk to you soon.